Hi, so I'm giving this another go. Yesterday I tried filming my first ever YouTube video and the audio was terrible, the camera quality wasn't great. I was using my laptop and it didn't really work. I spent a lot of time setting everything up and making myself look super presentable. Like my hair, I did my hair, and right now my hair's a mess, but this just feels like a little bit more me, a little bit more natural. So this is the kind of video I think I want to make. So I figured I'd just give it a go, and if I never upload it, then fine. But we'll see if this works any better than what I tried to do yesterday. So I am just using my phone. I think I said that already. So we'll see. I'm going to talk about the books that I am currently reading. I'll start with the audiobook that I'm reading at the moment. It's called To Kill a Kingdom. I can't actually remember the name of the author. I'm really sorry, but I'll write it somewhere. Maybe in the down bar. I think it's described as a Little Mermaid retelling, but kind of flipped on its head. So it follows Siren rather than a mermaid. Ursula is the queen of the sea and is our protagonist's mother. And our protagonist is turned into a human, but against her will. So of course, in Little Mermaid, she wants to be a human. She trades her voice to be a human, to go after the prince, which isn't the case with our protagonist Lyra. But it's a dual perspective story, and what's quite interesting is the audiobook is actually read by two narrators. So we have one female narrator who narrates our protagonist Lyra, and then we have a male narrator who narrates the male protagonist's chapters, whose name is currently escaping me. So sorry. You'll notice I do this a lot. I'm not great at remembering names, it has to be said. So anyway, I'm currently reading that. I'm about 5 and a bit hours in, and I think it's 12 and a bit hours long, so nearly halfway through. I am enjoying it. It's starting to pick up. Next, I'm reading Strange Practice, and again, this is going to be backwards because I'm using my phone and the front camera on my phone as well. So I might, can I? No, I can't flip the screen either while I'm filming. But anyway, I'm reading a book called Strange Practice by Vivian. I'm currently on page 118, chapter 8. I'm actually reading this as part of a buddy read, which Elliot Brooks is running over on her channel. So I'm not going to rain on her parade. I'm going to leave her to talk about this one, and I will link her channel down below, and if you're interested you can go and watch her wrap up, which will be at the end of the month. And she's also done a buddy read video which tells you the basic premise of the book. And the last book that I'm currently reading, again, sorry, backwards, it's A Gathering of Shadows by Victoria Schwab, or V.E. Schwab. I'm currently on page 221 of this one, and it's better than A Darker Shade of Magic, which I finished last month, but it's still not as gripping as I would like it to be. I think that things are just about to pick up because the Element games are about to start. This is the second book in the Shades of Magic series, which is, the main protagonist is a man named Kel, who is a blood magician and an Antari, and he can travel between parallel worlds. So you've got Red London, which is where Kel lives, where magic is flourishing. You've got Grey London, which is our London, where there is no magic anymore, and White London, where magic has gone bad and is consuming the world. And finally, there is Black London, which has already been consumed by magic and is now blocked off and no longer accessible by anyone, not even the Antari. So that's the world that these books are set in. And this book, the main plot line is that there's the element games, which is, I suppose it's kind of like a tournament for magicians, essentially. So as I said, I'm at page 221 and we're just about to get started on the element games, and I'm hoping that that's where the book is going to pick up a little bit, because it's book one was a little bit slow in the beginning and then a little bit slow, and then it was really, really fast at the end, sorry. This one has been slow so far, although I have heard that this book is just slow in general, so I'll have to see how I get on with that. It's like 508 pages long, so it's Saturday evening, it's about 8:30. I'm hoping to read maybe 100 pages tonight and then finish it tomorrow, ideally. But yeah, I will check in with you again once I've read a little bit more. See you later. Keith decided to come back and finish his dinner. And then he likes to have his post-dinner padding. I don't know if it's picking up, but he is purring massively. So cute. I'm on page 237. I'm not making much progress, if I'm being honest. I'm now on page 255, so I actually haven't really read that much, and it's been like an hour. You will learn this. I am such a slow reader. But it's like about 9:30 now, so I'm probably going to need to go to bed soon. But I do still want to try and at least get to like 300-ish pages tonight, because I haven't got any plans tomorrow, so I'm going to be just reading all day, which means that 200 pages is doable for a day tomorrow. So hopefully I'll be able to finish the book then, so that I can start book 3 on Monday. There's something nice about starting off a new week with a new book. Maybe that's just me. Anyway. So I'm probably going to stop for lunch in a minute, but I just thought I'd check in because I'm on page 346 and the element games have just started. So this is what I mean about this book being a little bit slow to pick up. That's how far through I am. So you can see I'm quite a lot further than halfway, and the main part of the story is only just starting. So it is holding my attention, but I think that's something to be wary of with this series. If you're the kind of reader that needs the story to happen and like get going really quickly, then I wouldn't necessarily recommend this, because it is a little bit slow, particularly at the beginning of the first book and for the first like 2/3 of the second book at least. Like, stuff is happening, but nothing big is happening. So obviously I'm still planning on finishing this today, so I will let you know if it does pick up. But like I said before, I've heard that this book in general is just a little bit slow, or slower than the first book in the series. But I'm focusing on finishing this one today. If I do finish it today, then I will probably pick up book 3, and maybe I'll read a little bit more of Strange Practice. But with that book, because it's part of the buddy read, I only need to read like a chapter a day. So I'm already all caught up for this week, and I don't necessarily want to steam too far ahead. But we'll see if I want to. But yeah, I'll probably stop for some lunch soon. I'm just gonna maybe see what happens in the next couple of paragraphs first. Chapters, not paragraphs. Next couple of chapters first, and then I might stop for lunch because I think it's about nearly 2 o'clock. So yeah, that's where I'm up to for now anyway. So I've just washed my hair, so that's why my hair is all wet. You probably could have figured that out for yourself. Sorry to tell you the blatantly obvious. I'm on page 475 now, so I've nearly finished the book. I've just got dinner on in the oven, nothing fancy, just chips and scampi. But I'm gonna dry my hair and then it will probably be time to eat dinner, but I will definitely be finishing this book tonight. So like I said, I'm on page 475 and there's only 508 pages. So I've got just over 25, well, I've got 33 pages left. Yeah, I don't know, it's still, you know, there's been a bit more action, but it's still quite a slow book. Like, it's an enjoyable read, but it's not like action-packed. But one thing I have noticed, I think, is that I've kind of got really used to reading multiple perspective stories with quite a large cast of characters. I've read a lot of Brandon Sanderson recently, and he usually has at least 3 perspectives in his stories, and this book only has 2, and so I suppose potentially I'm feeling like it's a little bit basic because of that. But yeah, it's all right. It's not the first book that I'd recommend to somebody, but if the premise sounds interesting to you, then it's worth picking it up, I think. But anyway, I will let you know my final thoughts when I have actually finished it. Okay, so I've just finished A Gathering of Shadows. There's a bit of a cliffhanger at the end, but not as big of a cliffhanger as I was expecting. I'd heard a lot of people say that it was a massive cliffhanger, and I mean, it is. Maybe I'm not feeling it as much because I know I've got the next book on my shelf and I'm going to pick it up straight away. So it is kind of a cliffhanger, but it's not like anything too... It isn't anything too crazy. I think this is one of those books that unfortunately has fallen victim to the hype. There's a lot of hype around this series. Everybody that I've heard talking about it says that it's absolutely amazing, absolutely fantastic, and don't get me wrong, it's a good book. It's an entertaining read. It's a little slow, but it's still a good book. It's pretty well written. The story is fairly solid. Is it a fantastic book? No. Is it a good book? Yes. Book 1, I think I gave maybe 3.5 stars. I think this one I would give 3.75 stars, so it is better, but not like anything crazy. But then I have heard people say that it's the final novel that's like action-packed from page to page, which is kind of more what I'm into. So we'll see. But for now, I finished that one. 3.75 stars, I think. It was fine, it was good. Nothing necessarily to overly write home about. I think what frustrates me is that all of the action, all of the suspense, all of the drama was happening in the last like 20 pages, which in a 508 page book, I just don't think that's enough time to spend on the edge of your seat and unable to put the book down. Like, it's not long enough in a book of that length. And there really wasn't any other part at any other point of the story where I was like, oh my god, I need to know what's going to happen next. I was just like, well, you know, fine. So yeah, it's one of those, it was just built up. I think if there wasn't so much hype around it, I would have enjoyed it more because I wouldn't have been expecting as much as I was. And as I've mentioned before as well, I feel like it's a little bit unfair because I have just finished reading a load of Brandon Sanderson books and his writing style really suits my reading preferences. So, you know, it had a lot to compete with there. But I finished it. I'm going to start I think it's called A Conjuring of Light now. And I think what I'm going to do with A Conjuring of Light is I'm going to try something which I think I'm going to call maybe like a read along vlog or something like that. So I'm going to vlog the process of reading A Conjuring of Light and see if that's the kind of video that I might like to film, because the theory in my head is that that will be quite a cool thing to do, and I think I'm going to do it as like a spoiler read along, which I'll of course mark in the title. But yeah, I think I'm going to try that, and I think I'm going to start that tonight. So I think I'll leave this vlog here because I'm going to swap over to that one. And there's really nothing more to add to this one. I this weekend read, I think it was 2 chapters of Strange Practice, which I'm not going to go into for the reasons I explained earlier. I listened to maybe an hour or so of To Kill a Kingdom last night. The male protagonist's name is Elian. And that one is starting to really pick up now, which is good. I'm enjoying that one too. And as I mentioned, I read, I think it was about 300 and something pages this weekend of A Gathering of Shadows. So a reasonably good reading weekend. Not my best, but I think unfortunately if a book isn't quite so gripping, then I just don't read as quickly, and as we've already established, I am a very slow reader anyway. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll edit this and it will actually end up on the internet, but yeah, thanks for sticking with me. And if you liked this video and you'd like to see more content like this from me, then do hit that subscribe button, and potentially even hit the like button, or leave a comment if this is the kind of video you want to see, or if there are other things you'd prefer to see, anything like that. This is all new to me, so any feedback is welcome. See you later. Bye.